When we talk about spiritual progress, I want you to know that it is not something linear that we talk about. And it is only progress from the perspective, like when viewed from the perspective of the mind. So it's not ultimately something to be taken seriously. It's not something that an attitude to have towards this process overall. But it does serve a purpose sometimes to talk about these things. And it can be helpful to you because oftentimes you start practicing the teaching and you truly don't even understand the level to which it is creating profound change in your experience of life, in your experience and understanding of your own self. So to sort of track this progress, which is not often linear and as in the same way as something else in life, it serves to talk about these things and it is helpful. So that's why I felt necessary to make this video today. I felt inspired to do so. And I want to give you two sort of quick measures on which by which you can really measure this. One is obviously how naturally peaceful, content, and happy you feel on a day-to-day basis without reason. Not a happiness or a contentment that changes the moment something occurs, right? The quote that I always refer to by Nisargadatta Maharaj, someone came to him and he said, "I'm generally peaceful, And he asked that person, what kind of peace is it? Is it the peace of having what you want, or is it the peace of not wanting what you do not have?" So you see, there's two different types of peace that he's referring to. One is a very, very momentary, pleasureful feeling that we sort of mistake for what we call peace, right? Which is threatened and changed the moment something goes wrong in our experience. Whereas the peace that he's referring to as what is truly worth having, what is the true peace of being, is the unbroken, unaffected understanding and knowing of oneself despite experience. It is the not directing the mind towards some chase, towards some destination for fulfillment, for happiness. Okay? So obviously the first thing is just the general overall level of happiness, contentment, and peacefulness that you feel, a general level of clarity that you have within yourself as you move through life. Not constantly just creating unnecessary goals and chases and destinations out of thin air in order for you to feel fulfilled, in order for you to feel worthy, feel like a member of society, or bigger than this one and then bigger than this one, right? So that's definitely one aspect of it. Another aspect of it, which is, in my view, actually even more impactful, in my view, which is actually even more trackable than the general contentment and peacefulness that you feel, is this: how much things register in your consciousness, how much things make you contract into the temporary perspective of what is happening. For example, usually we think of spiritual progress as like, okay, I'm no longer reacting. I'm no longer emotionally, reacting to this and this. So I'm making progress. However, I want you to view it like this, and I want you to be open to this perspective. That your reactions, right, are just the conditioning that is unfolding. Your conditioning will quite literally unfold right before you. All these reactions will arise. But it is actually your attitude towards these reactions which spontaneously happen that determines your level of understanding, that shows to you your level of understanding, your level of, how truly detached you are from all of these positions and mental identifications and beliefs that arise. For example, something may occur, right? Any experience which triggers a response out of you. Perhaps it's anger or frustration, and it just happens. It's not something that you necessarily had control over. Of course, there's a certain degree of forgetfulness of oneself through which the response even occurred. However, if this response happens, right, it's that conditioning, operating, unfolding. It is after that reaction happens, how much it registers in consciousness, how much it pulls you into taking that mental stand, that position that it is projecting. So if it is anger that arises out of nowhere towards some situation, are you allowing that anger as it arises, it passes as quickly as it came on remembering yourself, as quickly as it dissolves? Or as the anger arises, does the anger sort of make you believe the story and pull you into the emotion and the actual experience of anger and clouds your judgment, clouds your seeing? And does the anger sort of perpetuate itself with your unconscious identification with it, with your belief and attention, your attachment to it? That is the difference right there. So anger may arise, but the moment you recognize that, there's a moment of clarity, there's a moment of self-remembrance, and just like that, the anger is also allowed to pass through you. And there's not even a judgment on the anger. There's not even a judgment like, oh, I became angry, and this is not good because I'm on the spiritual path, and this is not good because I'm reacting. Actually, there's a seeing of just the conditioning arising and unfolding, right? Mind experience bringing up what is unconscious to the surface. There's a seeing of that, and there's a letting be of that, and then there's a passing of that. And it doesn't register so hard that, now it creates a whole stream of thinking and projecting about the past when you reacted and giving this event so much significance and now projecting a future based off of it also. In this way, the conditioning quite literally unfolds before you, and then it also just ceases to be. And in this way, your mind will unravel in this process. It will, right? And that's why I always say your experience is your true teacher, because it is through experience, right? Your entire waking hours is your spiritual practice, because in your experience, all these things will come up to the surface. All these things will continue to arise. And it is your attitude towards them. It is how you use the experience that will determine the spiritual progress, the letting go of all that is not true, and a recognition of yourself. So see this, take a moment right now even to reflect on this. Are you allowing what arises to arise? Or are you always taking a stand? Are you always, as something arises, taking yourself to be that? Now, building a wall around yourself, protecting that position or mask or personality or emotion or belief. Are you behaving in alignment with your greater understanding, in self-remembrance? Or is your behavior entirely dictated by whatever impulse, urge, emotion, reaction arises? And see how long these perpetuate themselves. Is there, like, when they arise, when anger or some other emotion of sadness or something, or memory of the past arises, do you have the tendency to prolong and sort of be stuck in that? Or is there an allowance of just acknowledging what has arisen and then allowing it to pass? Just like it came in, just as easily as it came in, just as easily it is allowed to go too. See that experience, the nature of experience is that it arises so spontaneously and it disappears so spontaneously. Only things that you give mental value to, the only things that you really identify with, are the ones that start to linger, are the ones that continually have to be recreated in order to create your self-image, your idea of who you are. So you see, this is the real mark of spiritual progress. How quickly you allow things to arise and quickly you allow things to just subside, not forgetting what you truly are, living in self-remembrance. Okay, which ultimately is what allows you to be at peace, allows you to be happy, regardless of the nature of experience, positive, negative, good, bad, you see, active, calm. Don't rely on experience for anything. The moment you do, you will be disappointed and you will suffer. Okay, so I hope this video helped you. If you're interested in really dedicating yourself to this practice and really uncovering the layers and layers of mental identification and learning to see yourself as you truly are, consider joining our program down below. It's in the description box below. You can check it out, see if it resonates with you. I have made it way more accessible to enroll. Okay, so I'm trying out something new for this new year. I want to make this teaching available to as many people as possible and make it as accessible and affordable as possible. So definitely go check that out, see if it resonates, enroll. And if it doesn't, then also you can take advantage of the free resources that we have, which is the free 1-hour class that I offer on self-inquiry, which will help you become quiet and refine and deepen your self-inquiry practice, along with the free webinar that I'm doing. So you can check out if the upcoming webinar date works for you, register if you'd like to attend. Okay, take advantage of these resources that are available to you. Okay, and continue to practice. I'll see you next time.